Hello, Altman Plants. Today we're going to be talking about order receiving and how to see your delivery information in PocketEvo. So the first thing we're going to do is go into order receiving there at the top of our menu. And you always want to make sure that you're signed into the right store. So here I'm going to change the location, which it should pop up by the GPS for you. You have the manual entry option, which we cover in a different video. But every time you go and log into a new store, it should download your new information. And here it's got the freshest orders. You always want to make sure you have the most current data loaded, and that will show you the time and when it was last refreshed across the top there. If you don't think it is, or it's not showing the latest time, just swipe down and it will update the stored data. That way, in case there were any changes, you've got the most current and up-to-date delivery information. So we're going to go ahead and click on the order so we can start checking it in and going through some of the detail. Now the way to check items in, if you notice they're all quantity shipped showing 0, we can do it by a filter or by a scan, the scan being the easiest way. And when you click the scan button, it will pop up your camera where you can start scanning information. You just hit the barcode and it will pop up that item. You enter how many that you received and save it. So after you've entered and saved it, then you can go to scan the next item. Just hit the button, scan your next item, enter your information, and it will save it on the main screen. We'll scroll down real quick so that we can just verify that those went through. Here you can see they went to quantity shipped as green. And you can notice the little red cloud in the corner showing that it hasn't finished uploading yet, so we can still keep scanning our orders in. The other method to enter your items is through the filter option. You'll just type in your SKU, it will pop up the item right below it, where you can then enter the quantity that you received, and you can do it that way as well. The scanning method is probably the preferred method just because it will move quicker for you. When you do this method, you will end up having to click your button on the bottom to change it from filter to scan, but you can see where it's entering the information. It will record it when you do it manually through the filter option as well. So moving forward, I've scanned everything in here, which on the top you can see the quantity ordered and the quantity shipped are equal. If I was missing anything, then you would see a different number up there because what I received and what was sent were different. You can also click the button on the bottom here, the confirm button. This will basically fill in all of the totals for you, but you want to try to avoid that because then if you are missing something, you're not going to catch it. The other option you have at the bottom is to clear, and this will actually put everything back to 0 for you. So that way, if for some reason you're not sure if you caught everything and you need to go back through, you can do that as well. So I'm going to confirm again just because I know everything was there. The next thing you're going to want to do is look to the upper middle of the screen where it shows items. You've got proof of delivery. So we're going to select that. This is where you'll scan your BOL or bill of lading in. These are the yellow or pink sheets that you receive when you get your delivery. This will become very important when we do Easter lilies and things like that. But basically you just tell it that you need to take a photo or two. You just take your photos and it will save those into the system. And here you can show that the POD has been captured, and that's all we need to do to receive a delivery. So now we're going to go back to our main order receiving screen, and you can see that the order has turned green, but if you notice the red cloud, it hasn't saved yet. So what we want to do, now that we've got all the information entered, is go back and make sure that we do our upload. You do want to make sure that it has turned green. For instance, we'll go and we'll clear the data here, and we'll go back to our main screen, and now you can see that it's grayed out, that nothing is entered, there's no quantity shipped. So that means that you didn't receive that order yet, at least through the system. So you always want to make sure that you're going in and actually receiving this order, that way your inventory stay accurate. So here I'm going to go through, just make sure I confirm it, and I've got everything loaded still. So now we're just going to go to our upload. You always want to make sure that you're doing your upload, and when you go in, if we're not doing any scrap or cycle counts, it's going to be in received orders. You just click your upload like normal. It will download and upload the information. If you do not do this step, then your inventories are going to be off. You always have to receive your orders. So you've got to make sure that your inventories are accurate and that your orders are being received. So now we go in, we can see that it's uploaded because it's not there anymore, and we'll go back and take a look in order receiving, and you can see that it's still green, that everything has processed. So now that we know how to receive an order, let's go into our delivery information option where you can actually see what orders are coming and when the scheduled drops are, like what order the stores are being delivered in. So we'll just go into our main menu, and of course you always want to refresh your data here at the top because you can see it's out of date here. So just on the bottom, you're going to want to hit the refresh button. You notice the swiping down doesn't work on this one. So along the bottom, here's where the refresh button is, and you've also got a filter button, which is going to be extremely useful for you to be able to find your orders without having to scan through a lot of other trucks and other deliveries. So what we're going to do is go into Home Depot, and that will filter it down, and you can also show only my deliveries. You also want to make sure you select the right date, and here I've got multiple deliveries. As a manager, I will be able to see different stores. As a rep and merchandiser, you're probably only going to be seeing your locations, which should make it easier for you to locate everything. So as I do the drop down for the truck, it's going to show the different locations listed, and I'm currently at Terrell's, so that's the one I'm going to be looking at. If you notice the little 3 dots on the side, that's where we can go in and take a look at some further information here. So when you do select the options there next to the truck, it's going to open up a itemized list of what's on that delivery. You can see the ship date, all of the specific items and how many are getting shipped out. And the other option that you have in here is on the top where you can select the details option, and that will just break it down a little bit more where you can actually see UPCs and SKUs as well as unit pricing, stuff like that. So again, it's the details of the order. So if you're interested in looking in that, then you can go through that menu. Those are the features of how you can look into the delivery information from PocketEvo. So hopefully this information is useful to you. Thank you for listening.